Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baruch Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Beit Millstone for teaching the scriptures, among other things. And salutation to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So basically, this video I want to go into the famine that's around the corner. People are not realizing what Esau is doing to the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, because the Most High is in control. He decides. Not even a bird can die without the permission of the Most High. So yeah. So I want to go in this article, and this, I got more articles. So I want to go basically in the famine that's around the corner. So no more water from the tap in Spain. It's the first time I've seen this. In the south of Spain, 80,000 people no longer have access to water from the tap. There is still a bottom of dirty water in the reservoir where the water is to come out. Tank trucks now drive back and forth with drinking water. So, because it's also sold out in the supermarket. And, there's another thing. There's also a lot of heat in Spain also, So they have to deal with heat, and there's no water from no tap water, no bottled water in the supermarket. So this is going on. This is from nu.nl. Spain is suffering from an exceptional heat wave for this time of year. In some places in southern Spain, it's 38 degrees today. Because many farmers are affected by the drought, the government has taken measures to help them. Some farmers have even decided not to plant any crops as it would be pointless. Madrid has, so you see, you need water in order to plant those crops, to have fruits and vegetables, and even for the animals they need water. So if you want meat, Esau is playing this game, so a famine will come very soon. Soon they can force people to take the MOTB. If you want to eat, you have to take the MOTB. You don't take it, well, you don't have it, well, then you don't eat. But yeah, let me jump to the scripture real quick. The book of Isaiah, because this is what the book of Isaiah said. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 13. Therefore thus said Yahweh, the Most High, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And the majority of our people are going to be ashamed. When this is going to happen, then they want to turn to the Most High. But then it's too late. This is the time to turn back to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. This is the time. When the famine is there, you're too late. You've been warned. You've been warned. There are brothers like us, doing this work of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai all over the world, in all kinds of languages. So basically, that's no cloth for your sin, You can't be like, oh, I didn't know. No, you heard it, man. Even Kanye Pest, he was, of course, kind of bugging out, but he spilled the truth. He said some things, and many people have heard it. Yeah, it went over the head of a lot of people, but yeah, nevertheless, what he was saying was true. Some farmers have even decided not to plant any crops as it would be pointless. Madrid has introduced a number of tax benefits for them. The government also wants to claim a crisis fund from the European Union. The peak of the heat wave is on Thursday and Friday, according to the Spanish Weather Service, due to warm, dry air from North Africa. The country is now seeing temperatures that normally only occur in summer. The high temperature also increased the risk of forest fires. Neighboring Portugal is also suffering from the heat. Last year, Spain already experienced the hottest year since measurements began in 1961. There were also many forest fires then, but this year there are already more than in the same period last year. The extremes are a result of climate change. Yeah, of course, that's the new thing. After the C90, now they've been pushing this. Man, Bear, Pig, South Park, Super Cereal. The Spanish government has asked the European Union for emergency funds to support farmers financially. Spain is an important producer of fruit and vegetables for the European market. The country is also the world's largest exporter of olive oil, The drought pushed the oil price to a record high this week. Yeah, of course. Currently, more than a quarter of the Spanish territory is classified as alarming dry. Water reservoirs are only half full on average. Rivers have also become so dry that the fish had to be saved. So yeah, and this is an article from what's going on in Holland, and this all got to do with the famine that ESO wants to create. Farmers are obligated to harvest through calendar horticulture, but cannot sow anything yet. Farmers have been unable to plant or sow their crops due to the recent rain and cold. So in Holland it's raining and it's cold. The wet ground makes the land impassable. This causes them concern because new government regulations mean that most crops must be harvested before the 1st of October. That's getting tight now. It's getting really late now, says Hendrik Jan ten Kate of the Land and Horticultural Organization of the Netherlands. The arable farmer from Portfleet has not yet been able to sow or plant anything. The seed potatoes in his shed are now sprouting green white shoots, but they can't go into the ground yet. Never been so late with sugar beets. It's too wet to start. Everyone is waiting. They expect rain again tonight, says Tenkate. In his 20 years career as a farmer, Tenkate has never experienced that he did not have sugar beets in the ground at the end of April. The rain and cold also endanger the crops that have already been sown. There could be crust formation on the crops it contains that makes emerge more difficult, says arable farmer Johan Sanders from Serooskerke to Omroep Zeeland. When crust forms, the wet soil dries up, preventing the plants from growing through the hard soil crust. Tineke de Vries, arable farmer in Haarlem and chairman of arable farming at LTO, also still has empty fields. The weather, you don't do much about that. Well, Iso got his harp, it's harp game going on. That's not the problem. The problem is with the policy on dates. That doesn't work. That's where the frustration lies, because they have the policy concerning, they mean like, yeah, you have to harvest this and this time you need to take this out, and all is got to do with the nitrogen. That's the new game what they do. And on top of that, they're also playing with the bird flu, now the cow disease start popping up, so yeah. Hey, famine is around the corner. Since this year, the government has implemented a new policy when it comes to harvesting. With this action program, the government wants to reduce water pollution caused by nitrates from agriculture and prevent further pollution. Certain crops must be harvested before specific dates. October 1 is an important date. Then you have to harvest a lot of crops, de Vries explains. The date of 1st October was chosen because it is known from scientific research, ISO and his research, that the earlier that the catch crop is sown, the more effect it is for nitrogen capture. Sowing later every week ensures that the amount of nitrogen absorbed is almost halved, says the government in the action program. Ten Kate is concerned about this calendar horticulture. This spring makes it clear we cannot work with a calendar. The weather ultimately determines how things go. The government imposes sanctions when farmers do not comply with the October 1st rule. For example, farmers will be reduced in the amount of fertilizer they are allowed to use in the following year. The discount increased the longer you wait after October 1st, explains Ten Kate. Dry periods are expected for next week, but you need a longer period of drought to plant potatoes. It's still very cold now, says de Vries. She hopes for a good summer so that growth can recover. Summer can make or break it. So yeah, you know, so that's what ESO been doing. So I just read a couple of articles, and they all. Oh yeah, there's one more. Yeah, I forgot this one was. And they all cling together because they all play the same card, and that's the famine. And this is about Dutch drivers, you know. So this is the game that they play. So it's from NOS. NOS. Drivers destined for the Netherlands wait weeks at the Polish border, deprivation of freedom. About 150 trucks with Ukraine agricultural products such as grain and sunflower oil are stopped at the Ukraine-Polish border. Some drivers have been waiting in the parking lot for 2 weeks for Polish police cars to escort them in convoy to the German border, a journey of more than 700 kilometers. One of the companies that import sunflower oil from Ukraine is wholesaler Vango and Son Implex from Berkel and Roderijs. Dozens of drivers from this company are stuck at the border crossing. And that also make the price, it's gonna make the price higher. they are they are short of food and drinks, says director Xaver Bostas. He speaks of hostage taking and deprivation of liberty by the Polish state and is considering filing a report. Drivers are not allowed to do any shopping once their truck is in the parking lot. Even a visit to the toilet is supervised. The problems at the Polish border are due to the disaffection of Polish farmers and the Polish government about the cheap agricultural products from Ukraine, which is driving Polish farmers out of competition. The Polish domestic market is flooded with grain and sunflower oil from Ukraine, which are destined for the European market. Because of the war, no custom duties have to be paid on those products. Due to the enormous amount of grain, prices in Poland have fallen sharply. That affects the Polish farmers. The convoys have been set up to ensure that the products do not get stuck in the country, but that's difficult. Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Bulgaria are also affected by falling prices. The European Commission has released more than 150 million euros in compensation for those countries. Once the drivers are on their way in a Polish convoy, they are not allowed to stop to eat or make a sanitary stop. According to Bostas, trucks also receive a GPS tracker during the convoy. Hell for those drivers. They are our colleagues, Ukraine men, who have already been through so much in war and trauma, and now this. Yeah, the curse is being flipped. A Dutch grain trader who does not want to be named because of the political sensitivity has chosen not to drive uh, via Poland for the time being. His drivers take the much longer route via Slovenia that drives up its cost. I don't think it's on purpose, but the Polish authorities have not achieved what they wanted to achieve. Irritations there there are irritations on the part of Poland. They want to put pressure on Europe anyway. According to the Transport and Logistic Netherlands, not many Dutch companies are active in this corning, but says the employer organizations from transport and companies, that does not mean that there are no problems. Director Bostas has now contacted the Dutch embassy in Warsaw and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They are working on the situation, but Bostas is not moving fast enough yet. If the situation does not change, I will also have to notify the authorities in Brussels through our lawyers. Due to the halting of imports, the price of sunflower and oil and other agricultural products from Ukraine will rise, the imports say. In any case, the drivers of Fango and Son Implex no longer want to make the journey in this way. Bostas, there is less coming in. We expect that if this continues, the price will rise in the coming weeks. So yeah, that's the case right now. All playing into the famine. So let me jump to the book of Matthew. But yeah, if you have faith in Yahweh Basham Yahushua, you shouldn't worry about this. So this is the book of Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is the life not more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls in the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Yeah, just look at the birds. Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take you thought from raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if Yahweh so clothed the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Yeah. The Most High knows what we need, so wouldn't he give us what we need? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewith all shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. Yeah. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Yeah, enough for the day is the evil thereof. But yeah, more you don't need more. What you gonna do with more? You don't need it. You know. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'arukar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all Akim across the earth doing his work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.